just start like this. I say, what's up, people? Welcome back to What's Sippin, where we sip tea and talk about subjects that we want to talk about.
And Cameron eats biscuits.
And I eat biscuits.
I don't think we've ever done an episode where we've actually sipped fucking tea.
This is a terrible intro.
Okay, do you want me to do the intro?
Yes,
It
please.
was countdown.
Go on
I'm
then.
punching you, for fuck's sake.
Hold on, let's let Joe do the intro. If it's countdown, I'm going to come there and I'm going to stomp on your throat.
I'm down.
Go on, Joe, do an intro.
I'm just typing. Hang on.
No, the audio cuts because we're over Discord. You need to give me, just do an intro as in talk.
Okay. Hello, guys, and welcome to the What's Sipping podcast. I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Cameron and Josh. Charlie, unfortunately, can't make it today because he's too busy with his girlfriend.
Oh, no, don't say that. For fuck's sake, don't say that. Don't say that. We don't know that for sure.
Oh,
We don't know that for sure.
that was a good intro until you fucking mong Charlie off, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, we could keep it. It doesn't make that big of a difference.
Oh, yeah, no, I'll keep it. Fuck it.
Fuck's sake, Joe.
Who
Okay.
knows? He might join us midway through.
Charlie might join midway through. We don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I messaged him a while ago and he still hasn't got back to me. So
Yeah.
I hope he didn't crash his car when he was driving home. That'd be pretty sad.
That better be the reason why he's not fucking here.
No. That'd be sad. Don't say that, Josh. Relax. Don't tempt fate, yeah?
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all good. So how you boys doing?
Yeah.
Chilling, you know, vibing.
Listen, we've had a lot of we've had like a couple serious topics on this podcast
A
lately
couple? I'm pretty sure
We've had
all
two.
of them so far have been serious topics.
We talked about robotic sharks in the second one, so I don't think that's serious.
You
No, but-
found it very serious.
Mate.
Because it's scary, no?
Yeah, that's actually, I'm not going to lie, that's giving me a new fear now.
Yeah, it's creepy,
Yeah.
man. It's creepy.
I
If anyone
had a
hasn't
dream
seen that,
about
go
that.
watch our RoboShark thing. We talk about animatronic sharks, and they're pretty
Yeah,
creepy.
mate, that's shit scary.
They are creepy.
After that, I had a nightmare about it, not going to lie.
No, but we had one. You're definitely lying.
I genuinely did.
He just is, isn't he?
I genuinely did. So, you know, I told you about like seaweed is my thing,
Yeah.
like dragging me down. So I had a dream where seaweed.
Is that seaweed dragged you down in life or an actual like?
No, in water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so, mate, we had a chat about this in the last one. Anyway,
I remember you saying.
so basically, I had a dream where I was getting pulled under, and I looked to my
And a
left.
fucking robot shark come out of nowhere.
No, but you know the toy from Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy, where it's like animatronic, and it's got that. I saw that in the water, and I was like, nah, don't like
That's
this.
pretty scary, Joe. That's pretty scary.
I know, isn't it?
God's sake.
Why is he talking about?
I've got an imagination, boys.
All right, fair enough, mate. Listen,
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Look, no, I was going to say, because the last one we talked about, obviously we had the Black Lives Matter thing and the George Floyd murder and all that. And yeah, that was quite deep and serious. But I mean, it was a serious topic, so you can't be all lighthearted and jokey. But point being, we are quite lighthearted and joking. We just want to have a laugh on this podcast. We don't want it to all be serious. But
Yeah.
we still want to talk about like serious stuff because we talk about stuff that goes on in the world as well as stuff we want to chat about. So
So like
yeah, just how it is.
your Instagram being hacked straight after the fucking
Oh, we
podcast.
did that Black Lives Matter podcast, and my Instagram got hacked straight after. Some dodgy prick trying to sell Ray-Bans on my Instagram account. I've not even got that many followers, mate. He's trying to sell Ray-Bans.
Is it cheat? Stop recording. Recording's off. All right. Done with the podcast.
I was like, boys, help me. Help me. Someone's at my Instagram.
Help me.
I was so stressed out. I didn't know what to do.
That was great.
I got it back,
Bargain,
though.
though.
I had to change all of my passwords for everything. I had to change my Yahoo, my Gmail, my everything like that. All the passwords had to get changed for Instagram, Facebook. Oh, what a ball like that was, man.
Oh, my dog's barking.
But it's secure now, so I dare anyone to try and hack me now, bitches.
Yeah.
I'm so secure.
Low-key
I'm
a
like
little
Tony
bit pissed
Stark
off,
in
but I
Iron
can
Man
get
3. Come blow up my house. Come hack my accounts, bitch. I dare you.
Love that. So,
No, go on, Joe.
so the topics for today, boys. What's the plan? What are we going to have a
Mate,
chat
you
about?
sure you want to talk about seaweed again for the third time? We're going to be talking about...
Hilarious.
So, AJ... should I said AJ or Anthony Joshua?
Anthony Joshua.
versus Tyson Fury has been announced. Now,
Battle of
if
the
you're
Big
a
Dogs.
boxing fan, it has
They've
been
had-
announced.
No, they've
It's not been announced, mate.
They've
It's
spoken
got
about
shit
it.
even
They've-
more.
Well, then this title for this podcast is now buggered, innit? Because it was going to be
it's clickbait. That's what it is.
Oh, toss it. Go on. What comes?
Got you to click.
Say-
You're listening now.
It's not been announced, but they've agreed on terms. So like the cut, the 50-50 cut, or whatever it is for the fight, stuff like that. They still don't know where it's going to be. They haven't got any paperwork to support it. They've just agreed that it's like certain sections of it.
There's
it's in the UK.
There's another thing that's happening at the moment. It's just rumours at the moment, but supposedly Frank Warren has started backing out of negotiations because one of Tyson Fury's team members is getting in the way. Is what's the word that's going about.
One of Fury's team members.
Yeah. So basically, there's I think it's MTK Global, which is like a management team for a lot of fighters, like Carl Frampton and sort of Tyson Fury, and they're based out of Marbella, I think. MTK Global is based out of Marbella.
I knew nothing about this.
Yeah. So Carl Frampton, who's I forget his weight division because admittedly Josh, you might know that. Do you know?
No idea.
I don't know. I think
it's like Carl Frampton is.
I think it's like bantamweight or something. Really talented fighter. Really talented. Tyson Fury, they're both part of this management team. So they sort of work with their Tyson Fury's manager is like MTK Global, and then you've got his promoter who is Frank Warren. So it's they're all part of the same team technically. Like they help each other out, and I suppose Fury's in a contract with Frank Warren, but MTK I think are the people that are, sort of technically they're his manager, if that makes sense. Sort of, yeah,
kind of.
I followed about a third of what you just said.
So basically, Frank Warren's a promoter, and his Tyson Fury's own team, which are MTK Global, they're starting to get in the way, and apparently Frank Warren is having an argument with MTK Global. That's all that it is. Supposedly, there's stuff like the Irish Mafia involved.
Okay,
where are you getting this information from?
So that was a slightly more interesting one, but basically, the Irish government have turned around and said that there's a problem with it.
Bro, all I wanted to do was talk about how cool this was, and you've come on here and you've started telling me it's not happening. The Irish Mafia have come in here and told us it's not happening. Frank Warren and some other guy named Carl also tell us it's not happening.
No,
I just wanted to talk about how
Carl Frampton's another fighter, mate.
I wanted to talk about how good this sounded. Oh, do you know what?
It sounds amazing, but there's just so much stuff that's getting in the way.
Okay.
I also think Dylan, is it Dylan White? I can't remember his name.
Dylan White, yeah.
He's meant to be the mandatory fighter for Tyson. So
he was meant to be the mandatory for the original fight against Deontay Wilder. He was meant to be the mandatory.
I would honestly love to see Dillian White versus either of those two.
Joke.
I would love to see Dillian White fight either of those two. I think that would be good fight. They would be good fights as well.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure. He's a good fighter, Dillian White. Really good.
White versus Parker would be.
His only loss has been against Anthony Joshua, I think, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking about White Parker, or it was ordered, I think, White versus Parker. No, Pulev. No, Povetkin. Sorry, White versus Povetkin was meant to happen, and then Pulev versus 8J is meant to happen.
Yeah,
they're both cracking fights. Pulev, I'm not too sure about. He's inactive, very inactive.
Okay, let's just go back to real quick. Let's just go back to Tyson Fury versus Deontay. Sorry, Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. Yeah. If that fight does happen, people want it in the UK, obviously, because it's the biggest fight in British history. So it's only right that it's had here in the UK, in Britain. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think Fury likes fighting in the UK.
I don't think he does either.
I reckon.
Well, you read his book because he doesn't feel like he gets as much appreciation and support over here in the UK than he does in America.
It sucks because sort of the base behind them, so like the main sort of base that they've built their whole career on, has always been in England, and that's both fighters.
This is what's so tough. What would the crowd be like on the night of, say it's Wembley Arena, it's sold out, 90,000 people. What is the crowd like?
I say it's pretty much everyone that's from London is going to be for, or the large majority anyway, is from London is going to be AJ, and probably like the younger crowd, and then the older crowd's all going to want Tyson to win.
I don't know who I honestly don't know who I would support.
London, they're going to be Tyson.
I don't know who I would support in that scenario because I'm a massive Anthony Joshua fan, obviously, but like Tyson Fury, just his boxing story has sold me. Like, and like, because he's had to struggle through mental health and stuff, and it's all things that people can relate to, and it's just like, you want him to go all the way.
Yeah.
You want him to go all the way so bad, which is why I almost don't want this fight to happen, because I don't want one of them to come out losing, but obviously one will.
I think realistically, that regardless of who loses, they've probably got a great career ahead of them.
I think whoever loses that match, that respect will be all round regardless, as long as it's not like a quick knockout. If it goes the distance, not as in completely, but if it goes the distance a little bit,
and as long as it's not dirty, like dirty tactics. Like Tyson can get away. Well, I'm talking Mike Tyson here. He can get away with biting someone's ear off, but I don't think AJ can.
No, well, I don't think. Well, I feel like part of me thinks Tyson Fury would love that. He'd be like, "Fucking yeah!"
Nah,
you see him, he was licking Deontay Wilder's blood out of his ear last time. He was loving it, mate. I think part of Tyson Fury's an absolute animal. He's like, "Yeah, do you know what?" He's like, "Give it to me." He just take it. Mate, he's licking blood, not ear. He was licking blood off his. That's gross.
No,
that is disgusting.
It's not the blood; it's the ear.
For fuck's sake.
There was still blood on the ear.
I know, but it's still an ear, and I think that's Tyson's thing.
But there's still blood. Okay, do you know what? Forget it. Either way, before we have that fight anyway, there has to be Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury 3, which no one really wants, other than the Wilder fans who want him to reclaim his victory, which is not going to happen because I don't see any way that Wilder can win, unless the only thing I don't know, because
did you hear his excuse?
Yeah, the £40 vest.
Yeah. I'm not going to come up with an excuse and then immediately after, but my vest was a little bit heavy.
Yeah, but he said he trained in like a vest anyway. So
pathetic, really, man.
Yeah, but some people who aren't even like professional boxers, they go hiking with like those weighted vests on. They go hiking up mountain and they come back and they're fine. All he was doing was walking to and from a ring. People say he might have had it on in the what was it? He might have had it on in the room a bit earlier. Yeah. Fair enough. But then you're just standing still. You could be sat down. Yeah. And he had to wear it in the ring while he waited for Tyson Fury to come in.
I think Wilder is having surgery at the moment as well, though. He's got an injury. It's got
nothing to do with the fact that he got slapped the fuck up.
Well, no, supposedly another one of his...
I don't care.
One of his issues was his elbow or something at the time.
Here's his biggest issue. He can't box, technically.
Oh, yeah.
And Tyson Fury is one of the most technical boxers. How is that matchup gonna go down?
That's
the boxer outdid the puncher.
Yeah, hey, listen.
With his own...
Wilder hits like a freight train. Fair enough. He does hit like a freight train. But... Unless in this next fight, he honestly would have to just risk it all and just be on the offensive the whole time because he knows he can't fight on the back foot. And then Fury would have to hope Fury can't evade all of his heavy hits at the beginning if he just puts on the offensive. And if Fury does and he gets tired in the first couple of rounds, and it ends the exact same way the second one did.
Yeah,
can't rely on being caught on catching someone with the right hand all the time. He would have lost to Luis Ortiz whenever, if Ortiz wasn't slow and actually moved.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not going to work for him.
That's why the AJ fight is going to be quite good because AJ is more is quite a good technical boxer, and he's got the power behind him as well. We've seen most of his fights have ended in knockouts.
Yeah, true. That's very true. AJ he's very what's it called? Uniformed.
Yeah.
He's a very uniform boxer, whereas Tyson is not. He's spontaneous and he's like his head movements. He's all jerky. He's twitchy. It's like you don't know where he's going to go. You don't know when he's going to throw. You know what he's going to throw or whatever like that. But it's just I honestly would love. I want to see it because I honestly don't know how it turns out. Part of me now thinks Tyson Fury might do all right, but is it a fight that goes the distance? Maybe then.
I went to Fury. I'm supporting Fury for it the whole time.
Yeah,
I reckon he's a much better boxer than AJ. He's got a chin. We see that because he got absolutely laid out by Wilder on the first fight. I thought he died. Come back alive. I watched it. I was like, oh my god, he's dead. And he just rose from the fucking grave.
It was incredible. That's what I'm saying.
Stamina,
His
man.
boxing story is insane. It's so good. It's almost like he's got a fairy tale boxing story. It's straight out of Rocky.
Yeah.
He has to make it. You know, he didn't lose his belts by losing a fight. He lost them over some issues with false drug claims, which were false.
I don't think they were false.
Well, I think
he was. He's come out to admit it.
For cocaine.
Oh, I thought he was on the Joe Rogan podcast and he said he had one drug issue.
No,
he said he'd never. Oh no, of course he did. Yes, he did do cocaine, but I thought that was when he was in his rough patch and he wasn't.
It was. As soon as he won those belts, he went downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him say that on the podcast. He was it's because he essentially reached his Everest. He peaked his Everest, which was beating Vladimir Klitschko, and then he had nowhere else to go from there.
I don't know. I think the most interesting thing about Fury though is his stamina.
Yeah,
they were talking about it even when he was like, I don't know how many pounds, like 400 pounds or something ridiculous, massive. He was still able to run with Billy Joe Saunders and stuff. Which, when you're that out of shape and you haven't been in a ring for a long time, that natural stamina.
I think his trainer is Billy Joe Saunders' trainer. Or he was Billy Joe Saunders' trainer.
They're once again, I think they're all part of the same. So they're MTK Global.
Yeah,
they're all under the same stable sort of thing, or at least were for a period of time. So his management team was the same, but he's able to run with the smaller guys, and that was when he was out of shape. So he's just a freak when it comes to his stamina. I think that's like the most underrated thing about him.
He
doesn't seem to gas even when he's out of shape.
Story in his book where he was when he was still first losing the weight. He went to Marbella to train, and there's this massive hill which all the boxers climb. Yeah, run up. And this was when he was first doing it. His trainer at the time, Ben Davidson, was like, "We just want you to walk up the hill, to get adjusted." And he just went off sprinting. I think he got to like 3 miles or 4 miles, and he was like, his trainer was like, "All right, this is where everyone stops." So he went, "Really?" So then he took off even faster and went an extra mile because he didn't want to be where everyone else was. And this was when he was a chunky little lad.
Yeah, and I don't. This is another thing. I've heard it. I don't know how true it is, but supposedly his lungs are bigger than normal.
He's got whale lungs. That's the secret.
Yeah, no, seriously, they're meant to be like genetically. His lungs, they are bigger and stronger than normal, and that's bigger in comparison to another guy that is 6'9". So not only has he got massive lungs anyway, because he's an absolute unit.
Yeah, true. Actually, I didn't think
he's got bigger lungs.
Wow, he's massive. Yeah, he's
genetically
built like
freak.
A brick. Yeah.
He's like, if hard work and genetics.
But he's just got that drive in him that not all people have. That drive that you see in people like Kevin Hart or The Rock, people who just don't stop working until they get what they want, and even when they get what they want, they keep going. He's got that freakish drive to just keep going and like do the best he can. Yeah. And that's what's carried him through, to be honest. Like, because his shape didn't carry him through, because he obviously went downhill with his cocaine addiction and his drinking. It's just the drive he has to get back on top and say, he's going to become heavyweight champion of the world, and he did. It's just like, you have to respect that.
Yeah. But I feel like we've ridden his dick enough for a bit. Let's talk about AJ for a second.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't start riding. He's just such an inspirational guy, man. No, Anthony Joshua's. Yeah, but he's also inspirational. He's a great boxer, and he's come from.
He's a drug dealer.
No, he's not. Is he?
He was at one point.
Well, Anthony Joshua was a drug dealer.
Yeah, he's a roadman.
We're getting the scoop, Josh. Did you know this?
I knew he wasn't hanging around with the best of people. I didn't know he was a drug dealer.
Yeah.
Back in the day, this was when he was a kid. Like
there was an article that came out that they were slating him for it, and then he just confirmed it, and he was like,
but he's from. Isn't he from?
I was going through a rough time.
Where in London is he from?
I don't know.
It's pretty much a rite of passage.
Opposite part of Dillian.
It's a rite of passage, then, isn't it? Pretty much to become a.
Nah, it's just the crowd that you're with, really, isn't it?
He's done his leg in.
Yeah, he's injured at the moment.
He's injured at the moment. Yeah, he's got who's mandatory against? I keep forgetting. I get all their names confused.
Manager.
Mandatory. He's got a mandatory fight.
Pulev,
yeah. So he said he should be recovered from there, but apparently he hurt it doing sprints in the woods.
Yeah.
Busted his leg up.
but it's meant to be like 4-week rest. It's his knee, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, he was marching for the Black Lives Matter thing, wasn't he? With crutches.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh,
really
wow,
see
I
that.
didn't
People
know
were
that.
giving him shit for that as well.
Do you
Because
know-
they
do
weren't
you-
social distancing.
So I think more so than any other sport, like photography in boxing is huge. So the iconic photos are sort of like Muhammad Ali standing over, is it Foreman? I think he was standing over Foreman and he had his hands up. Do
I
you
don't
know that
actually know.
photo?
I don't know this one. If I
famous
see it, I probably know it, but I
Yeah,
don't know
there's a
what you're
famous
talking about.
photo of that. And then there's Sugar Ray Robinson. I think there's him on the speed bag. That's another really famous photo. And boxing sort of ties in so much with sort of black history. And as weird as it is, I saw that photo and I was like, do you know what? I reckon in years to come, when we look back at AJ, that's going to be one of his defining moments, like marching for Black Lives Matter. That's going to be one of those iconic photos that sort of stands the test of time. I saw that photo and immediately I thought that. But no one sees it now and everyone's just going to like ridicule it. But they did the same thing with Ali. They did the same with like Ray Robinson. It's one of those things. But it's a really good photo.
I'll have to look. I could probably find it and then put it up in the on the screen.
It was in one of the newspapers. It was just him. All he was marching forward. There was some like signs and stuff behind him. And he was sort of like towering over everyone. He had his crutches and he was sort of just, in the middle of the street. And there's this crowd of people around him. It's incredible. It's a really good photo.
Oh wow! I'll find it and I'll pop it up.
Yeah, he's sort of looking at the camera like, what the fuck is going on though? He's like, he looks at it. He's like, I'm gonna get shit for this, not social distancing. He knows it. But
I mean, no one's social distancing during those protests, are they? It's impossible. You can't.
Oh yeah, you can't do it.
Protest
You can't have
6
an
feet
impact.
apart.
You can't have a positive impact without
Nah,
Not-
you
you know.
can't. You can't.
all that sort of stuff.
So, also in the boxing world, well, it's not the boxing world really. It's the strongman world.
Oh
But
yeah,
the strongman world is about to meet the boxing world because we're actually quite late on this one, but everyone knows this already. Well, I think everyone knows this already. Eddie Hall is going to be fighting Hafthor Bjornsson in a boxing ring
Big boy
for a
Eddie.
boxing match. Their beef has started because, Hafthor Bjornsson was up. It's a long story, but it's like Hafthor tried to claim that Eddie cheated during the 2017 World's Strongest Man because he said that he had events in his favour and that he was cheated because one of his I think I know the event. One of his, is it a squat press?
It was the it's a shoulder press, but it was when you have that massive like bucket on the back. Basically, double dipped, which is bending your knees twice.
And he
lifting,
was
yeah.
disallowed one of his reps because Eddie got one more than him, and that was enough to win him the World's Strongest Man. But so essentially, Hafthor was really angry because he lost, and so he tried to say Eddie was a cheat, and then Eddie was upset because his win was almost kind of overshadowed by this doubt of did he cheat or not. This isn't necessarily. I mean, if you're looking at the facts, it's no way Eddie cheated. He won fair and square. He was the stronger, better man that day. Hafthor did more than one double dip on that event.
He got let off quite a few,
He
didn't
let
he?
off quite a few because he was the favourite anyway.
And he's a movie star, let's be honest.
And he's a mountain
Well,
from
not
Game of Thrones.
not movie
but
star, but yeah.
it's kind of just sprouted because Eddie doesn't like who he is because Hafthor kind of has this group around him, like all his Icelandic buddies, and they always like big him up and say he's the best at everything.
According to Eddie.
According to
It's
Eddie, but
all
according to a
Eddie.
lot of other strongmen as well, not just
Yeah.
Eddie Hall, have said this. They said like during the strongman events, there'll be like a team of his people all in like Iceland shirts, and they'll like take up all the seating in the waiting rooms and stuff. And they always say he's the best at everything, and like they just essentially he's surrounded by so many yes men, which is never a good thing. You're always going to end up being
Recipe for a downfall.
recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Because your ego just blinds you then from what's going on. But yeah, they're going to have a boxing fight now. It's
Who
going to
you
be
got
very
winning?
interesting because Hafthor Bjornsson is 6'9", 6'9".
Chunky monkey.
I think he's 6'9", and Eddie Hall is 6'2",
Two and
which
a
is
half.
not small. It's not small, but compared to
Still a
6'9",
big boy.
that's pretty small. And in terms of like arm reach and stuff, that's going to be a big difference. How do you think that's going to go down? And do you think it's going to it's going to end in like a knockout, or it's going to go
I
the
reckon
distance.
Eddie is going to murk him.
I really hope he does, obviously, because you
Yeah,
got to back
British.
the boys from the UK.
Yeah, we got
I've been a supporter of Eddie for a long time now. I started getting into strongman during 2017 when he won, and then I started he has a YouTube channel, doesn't he? And I started watching him and that. And he seems like a really nice guy, like down to earth bloke.
One of the first things that I thought about is if you watch his videos, he has some videos where he's got his 23andMe, where you sort of provide a sample of DNA and they tell you things about your body that you might not necessarily know based on your genes. So basically, I'm going through that, and in the video, if you go through it, the main thing that they're talking about is, he's got like the Herculean gene and everything.
Eddie Hall.
Yeah, so that's the thing that stops him from like his body. There's a gene that produces a hormone that stops muscle growth.
Oh, right.
Eddie, he is lacking that gene, so his body does not produce as much of that hormone, so therefore he's able to pack on muscle mass and get really big. And
have you seen? I'll put the picture up. Have you seen the pictures of both of them before and after? So obviously they're trying to cut the weight now. Eddie Hall looks incredible.
Yeah, but that's because he's got this gene thing. But what happened is the other gene that he has, which is the weird part, it's meant to go against strength, but it is meant to add to endurance. So basically, he's got one of these genes that a lot of long distance swimmers, boxers, people like that have, which allows them to go long distances of intense exercise.
Well, Eddie Hall used to be a swimmer, did you know?
Yeah.
That's the first thing he did. So cardio is no stranger to him. He used to do swimming. So I think it's
no matter how much weight
Harford
drops, he's going to gas.
Yeah, because I don't think he has that cardio background that Eddie Hall does.
Yeah, Eddie's got that background.
Walking upstairs would gas you out.
Yeah, innit? So I just the whole time I was thinking I don't see it.
It's so interesting. I've also the other reason that they sparked in the news was Eddie Hall was the first person to ever deadlift 500 kilograms. He had the world record. And then Hafthor did it in his home gym. He did 502.
No, 501.
501. That's so disrespectful. that's so disrespectful when you think about it. That's so annoying.
It's not. It's breaking the record, but I think Eddie beat it by, I think it was in the 460 region, or 464, 465, I think was the original that Eddie beat. So he beat it by, like 30 something pounds. No, 30 kg. Sorry.
But the issue was with this is that strongmen and Eddie Hall as well started coming out saying, well, these things should be done in competition, because then it's all official. And then also it makes for like an exciting world record. Like people are just breaking world records in their home gym or in their garage. It's not the same, is it? Like,
I think what we've got to do, let's just get back to the boxing, because that's going to be an entirely different conversation that we have, sort of the fairness around the sport and everything. Josh had something to say.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah.
Sorry, Josh.
That's right. That's right.
It's one of those things.
Mate, it's one of those days where, your brain's not cool with it. Don't worry, boys.
My brain's never cool with it. Okay, so you want to go back to boxing, Joe? What do you want to talk about on the boxing? Oh, are we talking about the boxing between... Who are we talking about now?
I just wanted to get your opinion on, I've shared who I think and why, but I wanted to see what you guys think of it.
I just like Eddie Hall.
How do you see it playing out?
I mean, I reckon chances, I don't know. We haven't really seen him in a fight either way. I mean, they're big fucking blokes. So if one of them lands a flush hit, it's going to do some damage.
Can you imagine one of them leans against the ropes? They're going to snap.
Yeah.
The judges are going to get squashed.
You can't put muscle on a chin.
Yeah. So, we don't know how. So, you never know. Thor could have an amazing chin. Eddie could give Glenn a clean flush and he just shakes it off, or it could be the opposite, completely opposite. It's quite a hard one to judge. Do we know how much rounds it is? Do we know any information about the fight?
No, it always in a year time. So, I think it's a full fight as far as I'm aware. Like,
no, it's 6 rounds.
12 threes.
Pretty sure it's 6 rounds.
I think so, yeah.
I think it's 6 rounds. It's not 12 rounds.
6 rounder.
Bam. I don't care how much they train. Neither of them are doing 12 rounds.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be 6 twos.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard it was 6 rounds. It was 6 twos or something like that, yeah.
I'm not being funny, boys. They just got to provide the audience with headgear. It could get a bit dangerous.
Oh, I'm so excited for it. I mean, obviously, I'm backing Eddie Hall because he's from the UK. You got to big up your own. You got to back your own boys.
Back your own people.
Oh, it's just exciting. It's an Icelandic Viking versus a British barbarian. It's just going to be mental.
Barbarians weren't British, mate.
It's going to
British Bulldog.
I couldn't think of
That's
a
the
thing.
one.
Yeah, because
Yes,
but that doesn't make any sense because the
I'll tell you
Vikings
what
are
it is.
obviously going to beat a bulldog.
It's a British bulldog versus a penguin. That's what it is.
A bulldog could smack a Viking, I reckon.
Are you dumb?
Yeah.
How big is the bulldog?
Well, it's not a French bulldog.
No,
It's not. It's
that
not
doesn't make
a
any sense.
fairly
Hey, listen,
chunky bulldog.
what do we have in the UK that's kind of sounds cool, warrior style?
Huh?
Yeah, we got deers, we
No,
got badgers, we got
no.
fuck all over here.
We need
Cows are
something
pretty
cool.
fucking big.
UK
Bull.
warrior. We need.
We got bulls.
No, a British
Yeah.
bull against a Viking. Oh, that sounds great.
Oh, yeah. Well, you don't have to be a Viking.
A bull will smash a Viking, fam.
Fine.
What are you talking
Yeah,
about? They got
100%.
massive balls.
What Viking are we talking about? We're talking like a big Viking with a big battle axe. I don't think it would.
Yes, it fucking would.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes, it would.
Listen, I don't think it would.
All
It's
right,
a
let's get a
Viking
helmet with some
battle
horns
axe.
on, stick you out in a field in the middle of the countryside and see you tackle a bull down. Ain't happening.
I'm not a Viking with big fat muscles, Joe. If I was a Viking with big fat muscles, I'd fuck that bull up big time.
Wow.
Get
All
behind
he's
it,
got to do
Take
is
it from
swing
the
the axe. That's it. Huh?
You're gonna get behind it, take it from the rear. Yeah?
Like your face, Gary.
That is how. Listen, that's how you get the enemy without them knowing. No, either way, I think it's going to be great. Well, I hope it's great. I hope it's not like a one-round ding.
Yeah, end up being an absolute.
I don't know how
Oh,
exciting
big
it's
fat
going to be.
stinker, like
Is it
Anisson
on
Gibb
pay-per-view,
versus
is it
Jake
free?
Paul. Oh my god!
I don't know how exciting it's going to be though.
Was it
You know.
DAZN?
I just want Eddie Hall to win. That's all I'm excited for. Listen, I like Hathor Bjornsson. I think in terms of like, he has a YouTube channel as well, and he seems like a cool guy on his YouTube videos too. Not sure because he's done videos with Juji Mufu, and he always seems cool in those. But for some reason, this whole thing is kind of tarnishing his name a bit.
Who's
because
that?
Hathor.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, it just sounds like he's a bad sportsman, which is not good to hear in the world of strongman. You're supposed to have. They're supposed
Do
to
you
have.
reckon there'll be controversy if it goes to decision then?
Nah.
No,
I reckon it's going to be one or the other, really.
I
can't
honestly
see
think it could go decision. To be honest,
I don't think so. Say this is how it's either going to work. They either both go at each other and it's even fight.
Yo,
in which case,
can you imagine the ref in
gonna
that
be
match?
a knockout.
The ref in that match trying to break those two up if they're in the clinch.
Yeah,
They're gonna have to get the Rock as the ref.
yeah.
Who's
They got
gonna
to
be
get.
able to pull those two apart? They're gonna have
There's
to have
got to
such
be a big boy.
It's
Got
got to be a
Tyson Fury as
big
the ref for the bands.
Oh my god, that'd be so good.
Get him in there. That'd be quality.
Deontay Wilder's quit his job
Yeah,
boxing to become the
Wilder's-
ref because he couldn't beat Fury. He's given up.
Yeah. Wilder in the corner, you've got to flail your arms about a bit more, generate more power.
Oh, it'll be good. I think it'll be good,
Are
mate.
they're big lads, right? But they are just balls of muscle. Are they gonna have the movement in their hips and be able
cut
to?
down a lot.
It's still big though.
Shakira, hips don't lie.
No. Think about it, Josh. They got a full year, a lot of weight, which they're probably retaining by having like 6-7 meals a day. So if they cut out a meal, they're just going to start losing muscle mass anyway. And Thor has turned around and said that he doesn't want to compete in the world's strongest man again because it's corrupt.
But it's clearly
So
not
that's-
corrupt.
Yeah, that's what he thinks.
That's what I'm saying. He's
obviously
tainting his image by saying that.
Yeah, but the other thing is that means he's going to start getting rid of muscle mass because there's no point. If he's not competing, what's the point in him, what's the point in him keeping all that muscle mass? He's going to lose
Eat
it.
a shitload of food. I would happily, even while I won't compete, I'll be down for 10,000 calories a day, chilling, throwing fucking bricks around.
Yeah, well, it's to swap the roles, isn't it? You're the boxer. You should go train Eddie.
Me?
Yeah, mate.
Fucking doing pads with him, mate. I lose my arm.
Yo, that's so true. They've got to have like everything double the size.
Yeah,
Like they've got to get boxing gloves to fit their gigantic hands.
yeah. If it was both of them at their prime, at their heaviest, like prime strongman, not boxing obviously, but prime strong, that'd be surely the heaviest fight that's ever taken place.
Well, obviously, yeah.
I don't know. Have you seen Butterbean?
Butterbean's a big boy.
He's a big boy.
Yeah. He's a big boy.
Boys, that would be ridiculous though, because think they would get in the ring, and if one of them went down, the canvas would break. There'd be a hole in the
Yeah.
canvas, so like a Looney Tunes
It'd
episode.
be a sinkhole.
It'd be crazy.
Where's it happening? Is
We
it
have no
happening
idea. We don't know anything. I don't know anything about it. I just know it's been signed.
Here's the thing,
But-
right?
Yeah.
People are, I think, just to bring it back to boxing as a whole, I think people are using because technically this is a celebrity boxing match. The two are athletes, but they're totally different athletes. Like if two swimmers wanted to have a fight, it would still be a
Yeah.
celebrity boxing match because they're athletes, but in a different way. Hold on, let me just finish this real quick, Joe. Let me just finish real quick.
Yeah.
So, point being, it's not going to be a spectacle like that because they don't both train boxing their whole lives. I think people forget how technically incredible boxing can be. Like, just watch the Tyson Fury fights, like we just said, against Wilder, the second one, and you'll see. Well, even the first one, he outboxed him massively. And just unfortunately got caught with two right hands. Yeah, but I think people forget how technical this sport actually is.
I don't think anyone's expecting though like a technical masterclass of outboxing each other. I think
No, true, but like
realistically, and realistically, they've trained the last 15, 20 years each of them. You know, from like age of 15
for what?
For the sole purpose of generating power. That's what they've been doing for their
but that doesn't.
whole lives.
Deontay Wilder's a powerhouse.
I know.
And it just goes to show that that's not.
And he can't fucking box.
Imagine
but
Deontay Wilder.
He still made it world champion.
Imagine Deontay Wilder versus another Deontay Wilder. That's the worst boxing match ever. Literally, they'd have the two of them on their back for the whole time. Swing right hand, nothing happens. They just wait. Swing a right hand, nothing happens again. It's just like
it won't be like that. It won't be like that. I reckon they're going to go in. I know Eddie Hall. I think he's already mentioned it. He's going to go in. He's not going to be pussyfooting around.
No, he's not. I'm not saying he will, but I'm saying it'll probably look messy from a boxing point of view.
But
I don't know who their sparring partners are going to be. Who the fuck is out there that's replicating
to go in there,
them?
I would never want to go against.
How's Eddie going to find another 6'9" fucking meatball to spar against and practice?
Gypsy King, come on.
They've got
to make it happen, mate. It's mental, isn't it? I don't know. They could achieve realistically though. Like I think if you're that sort of size, you don't have to get sparring partners that are 6'9". You've got to get like 6'5", 6'4".
He's got to get ones with a longer reach advantage because he needs to get prepared for it. You know, he needs to be able. He needs to know what to do because he's at a disadvantage. He needs to know how to get in close to the body and attack the body. You attack the body and the head will fall. Simple as that.
Someone like a Coley would be quite good. I know he's only a cruiser, but he's
not. They're not getting professional fighters to spar with.
I reckon a Coley would be down for it.
I don't even know who that is, bro. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I genuinely have no idea.
He's like British level. He's not really proven himself at world level as yet, but he's a cruiserweight. But he's like a tall, sort of spindly, but sort of guy. But if you're looking for someone that's just tall, that's sort of gives you sort of that reach.
Tall with balls of fucking steel because you got fucking weighing 70 kg, 6'9", 70 kg going against 6'2", 150 or 60, whatever the hell he is. You know?
Yeah. No, he sparred AJ and stuff though.
Who has?
A Coley.
I'm talking about. Yeah, but.
I can. He's fair enough. He's a cruiser, but they diet down and everything, and they lose a bunch of body weight. He's not like that normally.
Okay. I think we're kind of spiraling onto who the sparring partner should be for these two.
Right, so Eddie Hall, if you're listening, mate, we'll give you some suggestions for sparring.
Cameron's how tall you, Cam?
I'm 6'4".
He's
I'm 6'4". I'm built like a scarecrow though, so I'm not doing nothing.
He's taller.
I'm not doing nothing.
You go on my shoulders though, so then we'll add the height up.
That's
yeah.
You gotta be the one throwing the punches.
You do the jab, Cameron.
I got the footwork.
Josh got the right hook. He just needs to get him on the inside.
Josh can do the body shots. I'll do the shots to the head.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Jeez. All right, boys, that's pretty good. I think should we end the podcast there?
Yeah, I think we pretty much talked about everything. It's a boxing theme, isn't it?
I'm bursting to the for the toilet as well. All right, cool. That was a good one. I realised Charlie never came on. Charlie will be back next week, probably. He never messaged me back, hopefully. So it's a bit heartbreaking when your friend doesn't like you, but it's calm.
Well, Kim was meant to start at 4, and we ended up doing it at half fucking
it's
5.
Now, yeah.
Got done a bit dirty there.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys.
Cheers.
We will see you next week. Peace.
Bye.